I'm Ryan Keneally. This is Back in My Betting, and it is now time for mine and Ian's picks for the quarterfinals for the Irish Greyhound Derby. Ian, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm currently climbing back up the hill at the moment. At the moment, it looks insurmountable. It has to be said, Ryan. We're struggling big time. Although, how's Bombay Pack going?
Ian, oh, sorry, Ian, sorry. I'm not going to press pause, but it's to hold that quickly because, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Let's start again. Yeah.
No, Ian, sorry, Ian. I've just got this medal here. What does it say? It says the best judge in the UK and Ireland. I was going to give it to you, Ian, but I've just literally looked now at what the scores are, Ian, and I don't think there's any reason for this to get across the Irish Sea at all, Ian. So sorry, you were saying, Ian. Sorry, thank you. So on that note, Ian, quickly before we get down to this, it's quite heavy, this, isn't it? Yeah, tough at the top. Before we get to say go into that, Ian, what were your thoughts on the weekend's action?
That was great. Obviously we had a hole left by Bocco's Diamond been withdrawn, but it was certainly filled, not just by obviously proper Heiress and cheap sandwiches offering up an absolute thriller in the same heat that Bocco's Diamond was due to run in, but a few of the younger dogs really stood up to the plate. I'm glad to say Ballymac Stud was one of them, a dog I've been keeping a keen eye on. I thought he ran a hell of a race in the previous week behind proper Heiress, and I was financially rewarded for that. But then the likes of Single on Curly, Anonymous Leo, dogs that a little bit younger, just coming to the fore a bit. Shanahy Boom returned to his very best as well. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely getting there. But there's two standout performers at the head of the market, and they served up what can only be described as an epic.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably one of the race of the year, I'd say. And I think that's when ground racing is at its best, when you are watching the two best. I think the English Ground Derby final itself was also in that category where you were watching dogs and you watch them go and my girlfriend who is obviously, she watches the sport, but she's not like really into it. She watched, and when they were going around the third bend that final, she went, I can't believe how like how determined they are, and they all ran like dogs possessed, and they were all trying to go back and forth, all trying to get to the front. And it's just like that thing in ground racing where you're watching the fastest dogs, and there's something that separates them from that. And I thought Cheap Sandwiches and Heiress epitomised that, really, just the way they ran that race.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it brought the Derby to life in a sense where we now have a serious UK challenger. Obviously, the last time you had a challenger of this sort of ilk was Westmeath Hawk. He didn't really, it's not that he didn't take the Shelbourne Park. It just didn't suit him. He never really looked like he was going to win that Derby. You're going back then to Tom's the Best, which is like nearly before your time, 1997.
Yeah.
I was there. I remember well. I was of a drinking age, just about, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it's first time we can really hang your hat on one from the UK. And listen, let's hope Proper Heiress continues to perform like that. And wouldn't it be great for him to be in the final? It'd be great for himself and Cheap Sandwiches to meet again in the final.
It really would be a clash, I think. I think if you took Tina Diladi Dar in there as well, I think that's something that would get people really interested. I may add as well, Ian, that your commentary for that race as well really kind of built it up as well. And I'm not just saying it because you're here, obviously. No, I wouldn't. I'd love to say everything, really, but I'm just saying that your commentary, particularly off the second bend, I say your commentary though on that one, it was one of them races where I've watched it numerous times now, commentary full blast. I think on the Twitter thing, the commentary was a little bit behind the actual footage, but then when you watch the one where they're recording from you behind in the actual office, it was just brilliant. So well done to you. So you made that race. That was one of the best commentators, make the best races. It was just perfect fit.
Well, those are the types of races that are easy to commentate on. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to add anything to it. The sauce is already there. So you just need to sprinkle the seasoning on top. And listen, it's a joy to commentate in racing like that. The best in the UK against the best in Ireland. Something like this, obviously the best in the UK came out on top in Shelbourne on Saturday night. That won't be the case in this tipping competition because I've just actually engaged third gear. I'm going to start moving. Like, so you're all of a sudden, your petrol gauge is starting to run low. So don't get false hope now, son. You're a sprinter and this is a marathon, okay? Just remember that.
So just on that, actually took me by surprise that one. On that note, then, so look, well done. Okay, commentary was good, all right, and what you've just said there, yeah, it sounds great. But at the end of the day, you can't argue with facts. So you can say you can say everything you want, but when it comes down to facts, it's really hard to argue with facts and stats. And I've got some facts right in front of me now. So people also question that Ryan the best in the UK. Well, look, hopefully I'm just putting them to bed. Like, I'm actually questioning though now. Did I get the wrong? Did somebody pass me the wrong person on? Like, kind of thing. Like, going in the best of Ireland. But look, I'll go with it for now. Okay, right. So after 3 rounds of great quality racing, I am plus 345. So €3.45, which lot I think that's solid, really. Cool, but I got my next best wrong last week. Thought every chance going to last bend, and you did give me a bit of a warning actually, saying about Bruno. He ran a little bit one pace really with that, so yeah, that's fine. But what the best do, minor blip, just a minor hiccup, and then we bounce back. A magical mag trapped out, and I could hear, I could sense your voice when you commentate that. Magical mag trapped out, a little bit of budget side, you went 6 clear. That
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. There was a bit of a grudgery there now. When she pinged out, it was like, can't believe it. She cannot believe it. Huh?
I wasn't able to watch race live, so I didn't know. I had to watch it after.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how much did you have on her, Ryan?
Yeah, we'll move on from that one anyway. So I'm free. I'm plus 345. Plus 345. And Ian, you are currently minus 545. Now, usually you'd say mind the gap. This isn't a gap anymore. And I mentioned now, as you mentioned, sorry, about climbing a hill. This is no longer a hill. We're not walking through the Irish countryside now. This is an absolute mountain. And now you're in. Now, if we talk about the UK, you were going up Ben Nevis now. This is huge now. And look, Paddy Power have been on the phone to me, and they said, "Look, Ryan, do you want to start paying out now on people who bet you?" I've said, "No, look." I said, "Look, don't embarrass the guy. Okay, you've got to give him some sort of credit here." So, Ian, look, there's still all to play for. There's still hope, and we are now going to go on to the quarterfinals now, where we're going to pick a nap and the next best for the quarterfinals. But we're also now because our Ante-Post bet to be useless. We are then Bombay Pap. Oh, Bombay Pap, and we are now going to pick though another Ante-Post bet from the 24 dogs that are remaining, and we're going to pick not each way, but what we think is the winner of the competition. So let's just go quickly to your nap and next best for the weekend, please, Pav.
Well, next best is a dog called Ballymac Stud, who came alive last weekend, and he's currently odds against. I assume he will go to traps odds against. So, listen, I'm in a situation where I can't just be picking the likes of proper Heiress and cheap sandwiches. I'll go with Ballymac Stud as my next best, and for my nap, I'm going to take on my old friend, the Laddie Da. So you know exactly what's going to happen, really. The Laddie Da is going to chin him on the line. But I've gone with Rural Pest. I just thought he was greatly overpriced from where he's drawn. I think there's been signs of life there that he's going to return to something like the very best form he showed the early rounds of the Juvenile Derby. He's running in the final heat, racing from track 5. He takes a flyer from boxes. I think he could certainly outrun his odds. He's around 9-2. So if my €2 nap, my €2 nap at 9-2, wouldn't that be lovely? Get me about nine or 10 quid profit, and then I'm all of a sudden on your heels.
Yeah, you need it. But no, I can definitely see the angle with Rural Pest. Great draw. Again, taking on Diladi Da, who I think we'll probably come to regarding our Ante-Post pick shortly. But no, yeah, I think they have two sporting picks there. I can't see one of them winning though, because I'm gonna just quickly. I'm gonna nap proper Heiress. So I know it's not winning, but when you're in this kind of position here, you have to play safe. So
I know that's fine. That's fine, right? Listen, that's your modus operandi. You know, nap an odds on chance. That's fine.
well, come first. So we'll have a proper Heiress. I think great draw. I had doubts going into the last round, and you said, no, Ryan, the track conditions did not suit him in the second round, and you were confident that you were going to see a much better proper Heiress. We've seen the best proper Heiress, really. Still think he can possibly even improve in terms of how he runs them bends. Still think he's come to terms of it. I think you mentioned as well, though, it's always difficult on the inside at the third bend than it is on the outside kind of thing. So I think that can be quite deceptive. But no, he ran a monster race there, and yeah, he's staying all day, isn't he? I think he said a proper derby dog, and he is. He's got all the tools, really, hasn't he? And I think
he's built for Shelburne 550 yards.
Yeah, it's perfect. So he's going to be my nap. What price is he? He's around about
8 to 11, I think, around that.
8 to 11. So we'll take that. What profit is profit, and then my next best, and I know this lady, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for lightning to strike thrice, by the way, because magical mag. So I'm going against Ballymac Stud, but draws win races again now. She's not the strongest, and I think if something was to get really close to us, she would be very vulnerable. But the kind of race it is, and with the early pace that is in the race, I think she's got an unbelievable chance here to still lead, providing she traps out as she did now. You look and say, well, can she keep on pinging like that? She's obviously capable. She only has to ping like that again, and just on being virtual on the inside, then she can go clear. And if there is any kind of bunching on the inside, then she can then, for me, take that lead again. And she is a good price as well. I'm just quickly looking now. She's 2-1 again. She seems to always be around 2-1ish for me. It's just a match made in heaven, me and Magical Mag. So she is going to be my next best there. So yeah, you're already going to be down on that race, so the gap's going to get even bigger. So you're going to need Rural Pest to put in a fight, and probably Drift as well, Ian, by the way. So yeah, a lot. I do get your confidence in it, but the reality is Magical Mag does not get beat in this race. So yeah, I do wish you all the best here. So to add to it now, though, they're interested in now at the halfway stage, and our anti-post bets are out. So we are now going to go and pick a anti-post bet that we think is going to be a £1, a €1 stake just on the win only. I've got the prices in front of me now. So could you please just let me know what your anti-post bet, who you think the winner of the Irish Derby is going to be?
Yeah, well, listen, who I think is going to be the winner and who I'm having my anti-post bet on are probably different scenarios. I couldn't see how anyone in their right mind, like being fair to anyone watching, could go for one of the shorter price runners like Cheap Sandwiches or Prep or Heiress. I think you have to give a more sporting chance. I'll go with Ballymac Stud in around 8-1. I'm glad to say that this time last week I was just after investing at 50-1. So at 8-1 a week later seems a bit strange, but he's a dog that's really come into himself. I think he's going to be a superstar. And Ballymac Stud is my choice, around 8 or 10-1. I'm sure you're going for a big price one as well, Ryan.
That is like, it's like asking, okay? It's like asking Liverpool, when they're miles clear of the Premier League, to then start playing their youth. They don't do it, okay? They just stick to what they know. They stick to what they're good at. And what I am good at, as now we are both, well, I know it, but you are learning, is winning money. Ian. That is what it comes down to. So yes, look, and not being affected by outside noises, because they're just noise. You know what I mean? When I do get a bit excited and oh, should I try that? I just remind myself of the gap here, and I go, right, let's calm down. So my I think the winner out of the Irish Derby is going to be Cheap Sandwiches, which I know Ian is not original, but about 3-1. He put a massive run the other day. I think he's always going to get a lovely draw. He's always going to get a really good run to the bend. I think he can break slightly better as well, especially than he did on Saturday. And yeah, I think there's a lot more early pace on the inside where draws will determine what kind of run these dogs get. I think Cheap Sandwiches is always going to get just a very, very favourable draw. And if he can come away at level going around the first two bends there, I do think he can kick on. And like I said, he put a massive race Heiress. Heiress got a little bit of a head start on him. And at 3-1, it's just like collecting €3 off the street there. So for me, Cheap Sandwiches is my pick. I was going to go to Daddy Da. I think if you're looking for actually a bet, the Daddy Da each way, I think 11-1. I think if you're getting just under 3-1 for him to finish in the first four in the final, I do think that's good value there, because the dog's just brilliant, isn't he? He's just the genius of a dog. How his brain works, or how his racing brain works, is just phenomenal. But yeah, Cheap Sandwiches is going to win the Irish Derby for me. And yeah, Panama Stud, yeah, really good effort. You can win it next year.
Yeah, I don't entirely disagree with you. I think if I had to, pick a dog at level stakes at all the same prices, it would be Cheap Sandwich. I think he's the most likely winner. And I think most of that does come down to the fact that he is a wide seed and he's going to have his draw every night. There is, compared to other years, there's a lot more early speed and trappy types on the inside of the track. And I think that's why Cheap Sandwiches should be favoured. And I think he's the most likely winner, but 3-1 isn't any use to me at this stage. I need at least an 8-1 winner. So Ballymac Stud at, I don't know, you're going to be 10-1, is it?
I will give you, so seeing as you are quite desperate, Ballymac Stud is 8-1. I'm giving you best price 8-1. He's 17 places. I'll give you 8-1. I'm not going on the exchange. And I may say, if, and by the way, I'm just doing this just to try and add the interest here. If this somehow turns around and I don't end up successful, you wouldn't have seen a bigger collapse than when Kevin Keegan and Newcastle United did not win the league with Sir Alex Ferguson with the mind games. Now, look, I am very strong-minded, okay? And
I'll tell you, I'd love it. I'd love it if I chinned you.
that would be the level of collapse it would be here. It would be a proper collapse and a big bottle job. But Ryan Canini does not bottle anything. So Ian, best. You know what? I'm going to wish you the best of luck, because I do hope that your tips win. because if we don't, it's going to be done because I'm going to be on the good. Well, I have one of your tips win. I can't have actually a stud win actually, but no. It's good. Look, there's interest now. I think you've now probably a bit of a shake-up now. I'm in against the real deal now. So you do have to wait. So I'm expecting to see a better version of yourself now at the halfway stage. There could have been complacency. Look, you haven't had a lot of competition over in Ireland, but the English have arrived. Heiress has arrived. I've arrived. So yeah, I think it's looking to be a very, very exciting competition going forward, both on the track and off it as well.
That's the same proper areas you've gone against in the Ante-Post market, yeah?
I have, yeah. I'm just because look, the gap's going to be cheese sandwiches wins, and if Heiress wins, the gap's going to be that big anyway. I can still give it a little bit of a fist bump anyway. So
You don't have to dig. You don't stop digging. Stop digging. It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
just going to take this off now anyway. So this runs a lot left for now. Just a little bit heavy that, by the way. So yeah, right. Anyway, Ian, thank you very much. Appreciate it a lot, and best of luck as well. And keep delivering them unbelievable commentaries, by the way, because you're making this event what it is, which is just the best, one of the best competitions in the world.
We'll have a go. Remember, rural pest from the front. Thank you, baby.
I'm Nike Nearly. This is Ian Fortune. This has been Back in My Betting. Let's look forward to the quarterfinals, the Irish Derby.